and hopeful, and all of the vision and opportunity that we can associate with his name going forward. I do not believe that it's a coincidence that we are here today, February 23rd, 2022, exactly one day after the guilty verdict in the federal hate crimes trial. It is poetic justice. And poetic justice is when virtue is rewarded and evil is punished in an ironic manner. So today we take the time to pause for Ahmaud. Thank you. And now please welcome to the stage Reverend Dr. Kevin Muriel Sr., pastor of Cascade United Methodist Church.
Thank you, and good morning to everyone. To invite each of you to join me now just in a word of prayer as we give thanks for this day. Gracious and loving God, the God who has been with us through all the weary years, through all the silent tears, the God who has brought us thus far along the way. For this day, O God, we give you thanks. And we pray now that you would continue to be with this mother, this woman who has shown the extent of a mother's love for her son, a fierce pursuit of justice and righteousness in the midst of injustice. God, we pray that you would be with Sister Wanda Cooper-Jones, that you would touch her from the crown of her head to the soles of her feet. Oh God, there is no verdict that will bring her son back. We do realize on this day we can celebrate justice and truth. But oh God, we can look ahead realizing that Ahmaud's life will serve now as an example that if in fact we pursue justice, we can achieve it. So Holy God, thank you that his living and even his dying are not in vain, but they will serve a greater purpose, that every black boy and every black girl in this country can live and be free. So God, bless our time together. Thank you for every person that will take up the mantle of leadership of the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation. And let the world know that on this day, his name is spoken across the globe as the face of a new movement for civil and human rights. This is our prayer. In the name of the one who loves us into justice. Amen.
Please welcome Andrea Young, Executive Director of the ACLU of Georgia and a member of the board of the National Center for Civil and Human Rights.
Thank you very much, honored guests. Ms. Cooper-Jones, we're so proud that you chose the Center for Civil and Human Rights for this auspicious event. As a founding board member, the Center for Civil and Human Rights is a reminder of how far we have come and also how far we have to go. Someone asked my friend Yolanda King if she was happy that her father, Martin Luther King Jr., had a national holiday. She replied, "It's nice, but I would rather be able to have dinner with him." And I know Ms. Cooper-Jones is proud that we have a hate crimes law in Georgia and that we have repealed the citizen's arrest law in Georgia as a part of the legacy of her son and her family. And I know that she would much rather have his smile and his hugs. and no one knows what we have lost, what contribution Ahmaud would have made to his community. And I want to stand with the family and the people of Brunswick and say, let it stop. Our children's lives matter. Black lives matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea, for your words and for your leadership of the ACLU and also of the National Center for Civil and Human Rights. It is certainly a joy to be here this morning. I am Danny Shoy. I am a proud board member of the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation, and I have a simple task this morning, and this is to actually introduce the 60th mayor of Brunswick, Georgia. And I'm not going to give you a long introduction beyond that because I'd rather you hear from him than about him. So please help me in welcoming Mayor Cosby Johnson to the stage at this time.
Good morning. Far too long and far too often, we've lost our generations to the seething discontent of others. It is this unmitigated disassociation from the notion that we are all one family, sewn together by a singular existence that allows someone to follow, track, and murder a child of God. For longer than we can imagine, our people have been hunted, maimed, and killed with little regard for the devastating hole losing a soul leaves. We can still hear the deafening scream of a mother's child crying out to us from the Tallahatchie. Today in this museum, far removed from the edifice on 16th Street, we can still hear the screams and the cries of 4 little girls in a church basement. Today, more than any, we can almost touch the tears of a grieving mother and a father who too had to bury a king far beyond his years. What we come to understand more than anything is that love and sacrifice are divided by the smallest of chasms. As a people, our triumphs are so often laid at the feet of martyrs. And on this day, we are reminded that Ahmaud's feet were far too young. Young feet running on a bright Sunday, running towards a bright future, running towards a dream, running towards his family, running home to his mother. While the verdicts and legislation will be applauded, let us not forget that Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones, just like Emmett's mothers, just like the families of 4 little girls in Alabama, just like Martin's mama and daddy, too often we forget that our triumphs our mother's tribulations. My generation now knows the blood-stained soil that bears strange fruit, and now more than ever hold the seeds of injustice that sow action that has been led by Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones to not only seek justice, but to also change our laws to ensure that no other mother cries the same tears. It is that simple move that is so dumbfounding at times. The all-powerful soul of the black woman to get up in all of her sorrow and sadness and fight not just for her baby, but for every little black boy who likes to run, for every little black girl who likes to shoot for dreams so big that they scare us, for every son and every daughter who know it is their God-given right to walk, to run, to march, to speak, to affect change. Today, for that power, for that fight, Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones, we say thank you. In his final and brilliant courageous and brave moments, Ahmaud turned and decided that enough was enough. What I learned, what our city has learned, and what a piece of Ahmaud's indelible legacy will forever be is that there will come a time to fight. While we will run our 2.23 miles, let us remember his final example to us. That example that says for us to achieve the dreams and the freedom we all hope for, there must come a time where we turn and we fight. We fight for that change. That we understand we can no longer live behind hashtags and quotes merely put up on social media, that there comes a time where those words have to move into action. And there is a fight going on. Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones and other warriors cannot do it alone. Ahmaud's spirit touched leaders around this state, but none more impactful than Ahmaud's family and local leaders who led a march through the marsh to the doorstep to bring attention to the injustice. Ahmaud's spirit lives in all those who chose to fight after they ran. We still have but one choice, one that is simple. As simple as knowing that light drives out darkness, as simple as knowing that love cajoles hate. We have a choice to let things stay as they are or fight. Fight for the change that not only we deserve, but for generations who will come after. I'm reminded of a great biblical warrior in this time, Samson. Once he had toiled a little while, once he had struggled a little while, until he grew his hair back. In the middle of all of the systems that held him in captivity during his life, he courageously chose to place his hands on the pillars. And in God's strength and clarity, proceeded to bring down all those things that had held him in bondage. Verdicts are no consolidation or consolation. Legislation doesn't say mama on the phone like he used to. But please know, his life has changed this nation. His life has changed our state. And his life has changed our city forever. In those moments, Ahmaud placed his hands on the pillars of an ossified, antiquated system. And he pushed, and he changed the world. It allows me to know that on that day, when he ran to the Father that awaits us all, he heard those indelible words that we often take for granted. Well done. Well done, my good and faithful servant. I pray we live up to his example, to the ever-changing tide of change that is upon the people of my great city and our state and our nation. With all the love in our hearts, grace in our action, and pride in our people, let us continue not to rest until justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Thank you.
God is good, and all the time. Every now and then, a person with no agenda, with no selfish motives, with no self-interest, will take pleasure in helping others. Every now and then, a person with no agenda, with no self-interest, with no self-motive, will take pleasure in helping you grow. I'm here to tell you that every now and then, a person with no agenda, with no selfish motive, with no self-interest, will take pleasure in to help you live your purpose. That person will operate in love, will seek no praise, and will want nothing in return. This person is a gift. This person is Wanda Cooper-Jones. Ms. Cooper-Jones has lost so much, but yet she still marches on. She marches with passion. She marches with purpose. She marches with love. It was just 6 years ago, as I, State Senator Lester Jackson, was chairman of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus, along with my Vice Chair Sandra Scott. We introduced hate crime legislation to the state of Georgia. And people asked us why. And I said, why not? People asked us, Georgia is different now. We're not the state of the past. And I still said, why not? And the verdict yesterday brought us peace, to make us realize that hate crime still goes on in our society, to let us know that we still must be on the offensive and be able to attack crimes everywhere. But we have a lady that operates in love, with operates in passion, with operates in peace, with operates in purpose, that says she will stand up for hate because she not only lost her son, she's standing up for the many sons and daughters to fight for us. When I think of Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones, it's reminding me of a biblical story of Nehemiah. And we all know the story of Nehemiah on the wall, rebuilding a wall of security, rebuilding a wall of strength, rebuilding a wall of purpose. And they came to Nehemiah and asked him to come down. And like Miss Jones, Nehemiah said, I'm doing a great work. I shall not leave. I'm doing a great work for my people, and I shall not come down till this work is complete. Miss Nehemiah, thank you for doing the great work for our people. Thank you for what you mean not only to Georgia, thank you for what you mean to our people and this country. You made a great sacrifice in the loss of your son. But Ms. Jones, the work still goes on. Keep on doing the work of the people of Georgia and the people of this country. I would like to introduce you to you, the woman that's doing a great work for the people and the hearts of America, Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones.
Good morning, everyone. Senator Lester Jackson, Representative Sandra Scott, Mayor Cosby Johnson, and other elected officials, Reverend Jasmine Smothers, Reverend Dr. Kevin Murrow. I extend my sincere appreciation and the thanks to the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation and its board of directors. Since the loss of Ahmaud, there has been a lot of change for the better. Georgia legislators' repeal of the citizens arrest law, Georgia's new hate crime law, which was implemented back on June 26 of 2020. When we hear the name of Ahmaud Arbery, we will now hear and think of change. The founding of the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation and the focus on raising awareness, education, and advocacy for mental wellness for Black boys. Laws changing is just the beginning. Next, we must change the minds and the perception of black men in this country. My son was killed because someone else's perception of black men, my black son. The Ahmaud Arbery Foundation was established so that what happened to Ahmaud won't happen to another black man. The Ahmaud Arbery Foundation is a nonprofit organization centered around the mental wellness and wellness of black boys and men. Our programs are designed to raise the wellness and educate and advocate for the mental wellness and wellness of black boys and men. We believe in helping to create opportunities for young black men to further their education, to start a business, to simply build a life, something Ahmaud did not have a chance to do. Justice goes beyond judgment made in a courtroom. Justice ensures every child, no matter of his skin color, his socioeconomic situation, is safe and has equal opportunities to realize their dreams. This morning, I'm very excited to announce that the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation will provide higher education scholarship opportunities to the seniors of Brunswick High School, which is the high school where Ahmaud graduated from in the year of 2012. For the first year, we will award 6 scholarships of $3,000 each. The scholarship selection committee is comprised of 6 faculty at Brunswick High School, myself, 1 board member of the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation. The scholarship recipients will be recognized during the baccalaureate services, which happens to be on May 8th, Ahmaud's 28th birthday. As we all know, nothing will bring my son back, but I know that God wants us to repurpose the pain, my pain, into service to make life better for other young men like Ahmaud. It is my honor to serve others in this way, in recognition of my son's life. Let us always remember Ahmaud Arbery. Thank you.
Good morning again. And I was remiss in my greetings to not greet Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones, sister Wanda Cooper-Jones, and also Ahmaud's sister and other members of the Arbery family who may be here with us. So it is not lost on me that this is Black History Month, and we have much to celebrate along with Ahmaud's life. But I'd also be remiss if I did not thank you, Sister Wanda, for your fortitude, for your bravery, for your courage, for your activism. When Dr. King talks about being a drum major for justice, for peace, and for righteousness, you are that person that he had in mind. Thank you for setting the example for us, and we will stand with you in this long journey. At this time, it is my honor to introduce 2 additional elected officials. It is my true honor to acknowledge and introduce Representative Sandra Givens Scott, who is our representative from the 76th District of Georgia, and she served in this role since 2011. And also to recognize and invite to the stage Triana, and I'm going to need help, Arnold James, I believe is the order. Yes, Triana Arnold James, who is former Miss Georgia and also a national board member for the National Organization of Women to bring remarks and also to make a special presentation at this time.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Sandra G. Scott, and I represent District 76, serving Clayton and Henry County. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. Today, Miss Wanda Cooper-Jones, we have that unspeakable joy, and it is my honor today to award you with this resolution, House Resolution 688, by Representative Sandra G. Scott of the 76, Representative Frazier of the 126, Representative Bodie of the 62nd, Representative Hogan of the 179th, and Representative Smyrie of the 135th. A resolution memorializing Mr. Ahmaud Arbery and for other purposes. Whereas on February 23rd, 2022, the state of Georgia honors one of its most distinguished citizens. And whereas Mr. Ahmaud Arbery was blessed Mother's Day gift from God, born to Wanda Cooper-Jones on May 8, 1994, in Brunswick, Georgia. And whereas Mr. Arbery was a known athlete prior to the senseless loss of his life because of the color of his skin. And whereas Mr. Arbery was a loving son, brother of Jasmine Arbery, uncle, grandson, nephew, cousin, and friend, who left an impact on countless Georgians and Americans. And whereas a compassionate and generous man, Mr. Arbery will long be remembered for his love of family and community. And whereas the state of Georgia overturned the citizen arrest law that was written in the 1800s, and whereas under the leadership of President Triana James, Georgia Now, the organization's members and the community are encouraged to run with Ahmaud 2.23 miles annually in advocating for racial equality. Hashtag I still run with Ahmaud. And whereas February the 23rd will forever be known annually in the state of Georgia as the Ahmaud Arbery Day. Now therefore be resolved by the House of Representatives that the members of this body join in memorializing Mr. Ahmaud Arbery. Be it further resolved that the clerk of the House of Representatives is authorized and directed to make an appropriate copy of this resolution available for distribution to the family of Mr. Ahmaud Arbery. Today is a great day here in the state of Georgia, and it's a great day all over the world because the people will be out thanking God for this day, which is known for the rest of our life. February 23rd will be known across the world as Ahmaud Arbery Day. Thank you, and to Ms. Wanda Cooper-Jones.
No, you stay. Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Triana Arnold James, and president of Georgia Now, National Organization for Women. And I want to thank Ms. Wanda Cooper-Jones for her love and her dedication to her son. And just wanted to share with you all a couple of things that we have in common. Ahmaud Arbery's birthday is the same day as my firstborn son, and they're a couple of years apart. And so I took this on personally because I feel that Ahmaud is all of our sons. And we need to continue to fight for justice and make sure that we never, ever forget his name. His name has brought about progress, but as a mother, I believe that no amount of day, no amount of trial, no amount of whatever, I would rather have my son. And I know that Wanda feels that way. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you all. Thank you, Representative Scott Givens, and all of the other representatives that signed on to this House resolution making Ahmaud Arbery Day in the state of Georgia. Thank you all so much, and God bless each and every one of you, and keep this family lifted in prayer. And I don't see my soror, Jasmine Arbery. Oh, she's behind. We are both part of the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, so that's why it's so many connections, and that's why I just love them so much. And I just want to thank them for embracing me and giving me this opportunity to honor their son and their brother and uncle and things like that. So let us not forget, and this is just the beginning. We still have to get justice completely. And so we will utilize this day, and people not for your own personal gain, but to fight for the racial disparities in this country. Let us remember that. But also let us remember that Ahmaud Arbery is Wanda's son. As she would say, that's my baby. God bless each and every one of you all.